Welcome to Mark's Moving TV. Today I'm with Elaine McDonald from Remax Executive Realty in Marlboro. Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning, Mark.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So tell me all about Remax. How long have you been in business? How did you get in the business?
Oh boy, so I've been affiliated with Remax since 1990. I've been licensed since 1986, and I'm sure you have been around for a while, obviously, Mark. But Remax is really geared for agents that have been in business for a while. There's a minimum income requirement to be a Remax agent. And I just find that, you surround yourself with really top-notch agents within the organization. We have a total of 6 or 7 offices along 495, 160 agents, and we sell a lot of real estate.
So this isn't a new startup. This
No,
is a
it is
very
not a new
established
start.
organization
Very established.
with very established agents and the cream of the crop.
Yes, cream of the crop.
That's excellent. And
Yes.
what differentiates you from other realtors?
Well, as I had mentioned to you previously, I do a lot of nonprofit work. And I think it's important for corporate America to really focus on that again. I know back in the 60s and 70s it was a big thing, and then we sort of lose sight a little bit of that commitment to the community. So my concentration is to really give back in many ways. I am a part of the Rotary organization, and we do a lot of the things sort of behind the scenes to help the needy in the local communities.
Well, it's funny you talk about that. As you know, Mark's Moving and Storage has a foundation called Mark's Northeastern
Yes.
Furniture Foundation.
Yes.
And in fact, many of your clients have been kind enough to contribute some of their beds and other furniture that they didn't need.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But it's interesting how, because I agree, anybody can, I guess, pick up furniture and move it, but not everybody can be a good contributor to the community. And we
Yes.
say, it's a lot more about just being a moving company. It's what can you give back.
Absolutely.
And I admire all of your efforts, and it's the same thing that you're saying. Hey, well, yes, I'm a very well-established realtor, but on the other hand, it's not just about business.
It's not just about business.
Helping people. So
Right.
so for example, when we say we've been helping people since 1979, yes, we've not only been helping people move, but we've been trying to help people, those in need, which you do as well. Exactly. What do you find is the most challenging part of being in the real estate industry today?
I would say that the moving aspect, because I don't think people realize what it takes to get all their personal belongings out of their home. I try to help and guide them. That's where I reach out to your company.
And we appreciate that, by
Yes.
the way. Having you as a strategic partner
Yes.
is quite a benefit to us.
Yes, the Dave Brower, the manager here, I've been associated with him probably since the early '90s, when he ran a moving company in Marlboro, and then affiliated with you
Right.
a little bit later on. But one of the reasons why I am so committed to Mark's Moving is because of all the community stuff that you do. And you do it because you want to do it, not because you want public recognition. And I think that says a lot about who you are and what your company is all about.
Well, it's interesting because oftentimes people say, well, why should we use Marks? As they may say, why should they
Yes.
use your organization?
Yes.
And when we start telling people or suggesting the reasons they should, oftentimes it doesn't involve moving.
No, it doesn't.
It involves what you're trying to give back.
Yes.
Very, very important,
Yes.
and it's nice to have
Yes.
organizations like yours that understand.
Yes. And Mark, what our business has changed 250%, and I would say in the last 15 years, and we've become more project managers. There's a lot of our clients that need help in doing small home improvements, even putting a new roof on, installing a new heating system. And so we've really changed our business model and tried to focus on prepping the home for sale and trying to get the top dollar for our client.
So, in fact, the focus many years ago have just been on the piece of real estate itself and all the other activity involved. It wasn't your job.
Yes, it was somebody
today,
else's job.
With your new model is you're coming on as a project manager, so to speak,
Right.
and helping them with all of the elements
Right.
involved. That's great. How has technology played a part in your industry?
Well, we just had a staff meeting last Thursday and talked about the differences 20 years ago versus today. There's very little print advertising that we do. That probably consumed 75% of our marketing 20 years ago, and it's probably 1% now.
Interesting.
It's focused primarily on social media, Facebook, Twitter.
So do you have an in-house social media person? Or
Yes.
How do you handle all of that? Because I know from our own company,
Yes.
it's very time consuming. It
Yes,
takes a
it
lot
is.
of effort.
We have a full-time social media person. She takes care of anything to do with marketing and social media of myself and my team. Her name is Candy Bren. She's been with me for 15, 18 years. And she ensures that posts are done on a pretty consistent basis and gets the word out if there's any new information that I want to share with the public.
What is your website address?
It's ElaineMcDonald.com.
Well, that's easy enough to
Yes,
remember.
yes.
And I assume that's the best way for people to
Absolutely.
communicate with you.
Absolutely.
So, some questions. Tell me, what is the greatest number of times you've sold homes for a customer? So, one customer. How many repeats or different homes? How many homes have you sold over the years for one customer?
9.
So 9's the record.
9. And that does not count their children once their children become 25, 30 years old and they're buying their first home. But 9 just directly with a husband, wife, buying investment properties and second homes.
What was the most difficult transaction you ever were involved with?
The difficult was probably a hazardous waste situation. It took almost 2.5 years to close. So.
And what is the most interesting, the biggest house, or the coolest house, the house with the most interesting features, let's say?
Well, I as you know, I'm a Celtics fan. So we sold a home that had an indoor basketball facility. It was pretty nice. And
So you spent a lot of time showing that house and
Yes.
maybe practicing a little bit,
twisting my arm a little bit,
showing people how to do the 3-pointers.
Yes.
So who are the other key players at your organization?
Well, my husband, his name is Douglas Polino. He is my operations manager. He joined me in 2003 after 25, 26 years in high tech. And so he brings a lot of, I should say, process to what we do to ensure that it's consistent throughout all of our sales.
And what is the best advice you can give someone? They're not quite ready to call you, but there's a checklist. Maybe they need to do a few things. What do you suggest people do to make sure their house is ready and now they're ready to have a discussion with you? How do you get ready for the sale?
Well, if you check on ElaineMcDonald.com, it has a list of, I'm going to say 30 items that you really need to take a look at. But I would say the most importantly is declutter, declutter, declutter. And for those that are looking to buy, I would definitely sit down and get pre-qualified first and find out exactly what areas you want to focus on in terms of finding a new home, and is it convenient to where you're working, and is it a good school system, for your family.
So you had mentioned the term project manager.
Yes.
So there were a lot of things you just mentioned. You talked about you're touring an area, getting familiar with an area, maybe getting pre-qualified. So even if they're not quite ready to go out and put their house on the market and buy a new one, it sounds as if they were to contact you. If they didn't have their own network, they didn't know a bank or a mortgage company, these are all things that you can help them with.
We get it done.
They don't have to sign a listing sheet
No,
with you
not
day
at all.
one.
Not at all.
That you are willing to invest some time and effort in helping them get organized and ready for the next step.
Like this year, I had a seller prospect called me the second week of January. There was an awful lot of things that needed to be done in this particular home, and by April 1, we accomplished it, put it on the market, and had a multiple bidding situation.
What's your general feel on pricing? You hear some people say, put the house on the market for the greatest amount possible, see if you get any bites, and then if you don't, lower it. And then you have other people that say, underprice it and get a bidding war going.
Exactly.
What's your take?
Well, first of all, the buyers will determine the value of your home. It's not the seller. So,
But the seller, I know when I went to sell my house, I thought it was worth $1 zillion. I was wrong.
Yes.
Maybe to me it was, but it
Yeah,
wasn't to
yes.
anyone else.
So what I do is I do a what I call a 30, 60, 90 day price range. So if you want your home sold in 30 days, it's this particular price. If it's 60 day, 90 days. If a home stays on the market more than 60 to 90 days in today's market, typically there is something wrong. Either it's at an inferior location, busy road, it needs a tremendous amount of work, or just, what I call a floor plan that doesn't work for majority of the families.
Looks like you have some collateral here. You have some material to show what comes in this fancy folder.
Well, this is I call it just a sort of an information folder that I share with sellers and also buyers. And it really just goes through, and it just so happens that Mark's Moving is right on the top of this.
Well, we like our strategic partnerships, and thank you very much.
So,
I hope that stays on the top.
so this is an informational piece about moving. I think a lot of people, again, don't realize what it takes to move efficiently, and things that they can work on months in advance before they actually put their home on the market. So I would say 75% of my clients' personal belongings have been packed, have been sorted, have been organized in the basement, so that when we do a video of the home, you don't see a lot of clutter. But it also helps them 60 days before the closing, when the actual move date comes, it's not as stressful.
Right. So, in addition to the website, in this package that you have here, if you request this package, everything you need to know about moving
Pretty much.
and buying a home is right in this package.
Pretty much.
Well, again, the website is?
ElaineMcDonald.com.
Well, Elaine, you've done a great job in the area, and we certainly appreciate the partnership that you have with us. So I want to thank you for coming today, and congratulate you on your success, and wish you the best in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank
Nice
you,
to see
Mark.
you.